What's up, guys? Thanks for tuning in. Today we're going to bring you another awesome Army Corps of Engineer campground that we stayed at up in Pennsylvania. This is probably the largest Army Corps of Engineers campground that we have been to so far, so stay tuned. So originally we were not scheduled to be at this campground. Our reservation was actually for Gifford Pinchot State Park in Pennsylvania. Once we arrived there, we realized that the site that we booked, which was a non-electric site, we knew that. And we knew that it also did not have water, so it's a completely dry site. Once we arrived, we realized that our site was not going to work for us. It had trees extremely close to the edge of the campsite. I'm not even sure we would have been able to get the slides out. The site was on an extreme angle. It just would have been a real hassle. There was absolutely no sun whatsoever back in the camping loop to even to put our solar panels out to get any kind of sun on them during the day. So it just wasn't gonna work out for us. So we grabbed a walk-up site that had electric just for one night, and then we started doing some investigating, and what we found was 7 Points Campground in Pennsylvania. Now, there's two 7 Points campgrounds. There's a 7 Points campground also in Tennessee. That's not the one we were at. We were at the one in Pennsylvania. And this campground is located in Heston, Pennsylvania on Raystown Lake.
And when he says the largest Army Corps that we've been to, by that we mean 260 electric sites, and they have 6 non-electric tent sites. But since it was for the weekend, when we went online to book it, there was only one electric site showing available for the weekend, so we got lucky snagging this at the last minute.
Yeah, our site was 118A, right beside 118. So they have a 118 and a 118A. We were in 118A. It was kind of hard to tell online on the pictures why this was the last site available. I mean, anytime you go on to book somewhere over a weekend and you see that it's completely booked and there's one site left, it does make you wonder, why is that the only site left available? That's kind of what happened to us at the state park in Pennsylvania. There was very slim pickings when we went on there to book that site over the weekend, and once we got there and saw the site, it was pretty clear why it was the last site.
So we were hoping that wasn't going to be the same case with this campground.
As it turned out, this site was great. This is one of the coolest sites that we've had. It was kind of carved into the side of the hill there, so the hill is built up on one side. You had stairs that go up, and then to your campsite that was actually behind the RV. So it was definitely full. It was packed. A lot of people there, but it was a really great campground. They had a big mountain bike event going on over the weekend, so that's one reason why it was so busy. But we were fortunate to get that spot, and once we got in there and got parked, we liked it. It was a really good spot.
Yeah, so these sites are $30 a night, and there's no water at the site, but there is water in the park.
Yeah, you know, $30 a night for electric only, maybe a little steep, but it was a great campground. They have a huge dump station. The dump station is one of the best ones that we've seen. It's like a big 4-lane dump station, so there's you know, you could actually have 2 RVs going one direction using the dump station, 2 more going the other direction using the dump station. So they all have freshwater spigots. Each one has a freshwater spigot, so you can fill your tanks up. So it's very user friendly the way it's set up. That way everybody can dump, everybody can be getting water at the same time. So they definitely they did a good job when they built that one.
But something to take note of. It is a little drive from the campground.
Yeah, from our campground, from the section we were in, our loop, it's took me 8 minutes to drive from our campsite up to the dump station to take our portable tank up there to dump it. 8 minutes going like between 10 and 15 miles an hour. So it was a little bit of a hike. I'm glad we had our upgraded wheels on the tank, so that's the longest drive they've ever had on them. So we definitely definitely put some distance on that thing while we were camping there. So if you're wondering how we upgraded the wheels on that dump tank, I'll go ahead and leave a link above to that video. Really simple. Got everything we needed from Lowe's, and got the Never Flat tires from Harbor Freight. Super simple. Wasn't a very expensive upgrade, and you'll be glad you did it. That's for sure.
So this Army Corps actually offers quite a few amenities. They have the mountain bike riding trails. They actually have a newly installed disc golf course, 9 holes. But they had the mountain bike riding going on, and that was kind of going through the disc golf area. They also have a marina there and a boat ramp, so there's a lot to do there.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have mountain bikes. I don't ride a mountain bike. But from what I could see about those mountain bike trails, it almost made me want to get a mountain bike. I mean, they looked really cool, really awesome. And that big mountain bike event, like Erica said, there were a ton of people there. And they were really kind of just riding everywhere. So probably not the best time to try to tackle the disc golf course with everybody riding around. You don't want to take somebody out with an errant throw, which definitely could happen. So as you come in to the campground, working from front to back, there's 6 different camping loops they have as you work from front to back. The first one you come to is going to be the Ridge Camp Loop.
And that's going to be sites 1 through 43.
And you know, all these loops looked fantastic. We're going to show you the Ridge Camp Loop here, but really just a great campground all the way around. We didn't really see any sites really that were really terrible, especially not in this section. As we got toward the back, you'll see some sites that maybe will be a little more tricky. But this section up front at Ridge Camp, fantastic. Would be a great section to look into. So after you leave Ridge Camp, that's when you're going to get to the area where the dump station is. After the dump station, after you pass that, you're going to come to the Meadow Camp Loop. That's going to be sites 44 through 86. And again, you know, great campsites. All these sites are going to have electric at the site with no water. So none of these have water at the site. But this was another really nice loop, and sites are nice and big and level, no issues.
And that section also has a group camping area.
So after you leave out of Meadow Camp Loop, that's where you're going to go up. You're going to go past the Visitor Center. That's where the parking for the mountain bike trails is. That's where the disc golf course is going to be. And then once you go beyond that, you'll see where you turn off to go down to Valley Camp, which is sites 87 through 111. This one's going to take you down the hill. So this one's going to be down below those other campgrounds. So you're going to go down the hill, down to where these campsites are. Again, you know, you can't really complain about any of these. They're all really nice looking campsites down here. We were here during the fall time. The trees are looking beautiful, so it was a good spot.
And if you're looking for a view of the lake, the only site that you're going to find on that loop that really has a good view of it is site 103.
Yeah, as you start, those first 2 that we talked about aren't going to have any lake views at all. Once you get down to Valley Camp, you're going to have just the one site with a lake view. And then as you get down to the next section, which is going to be Point Camp Loop, which is where we were at, those are going to have a lot of lake view sites. And that was a fantastic loop. There are so many sites that just, you loop around there. They have some really nice big pull-through sites that your campsite side faces out onto the lake. You go down some steps and you have like a whole campsite area that is just basically right lakefront. You're up off the lake. You're not down at lake level. You're up off the lake, but just a completely unobstructed view of the lake, and just some amazing campsites over there. Really nice spot over in the Point Camp Loop. And those are going to be sites 112 through 154. So coming out of Point Camp Loop, you just keep heading toward the back of the park. You're going to loop way around now as you leave out of Point Camp. You're going to drive way back in the park to get to the Bay Camp Loop. And those are sites 155 through 170. Now you're going to be getting back in the area where some of the sites could get a little more tricky. You know, definitely pay attention. Look at the measurements on the sites that they have on recreation.gov. Check out the pictures. And then that brings you to the final camping loop, which is Senoia Camp Loop, which are sites 172 to 261. So all these sites back here, some of these are going to be pull-throughs along the lake, so you'll have some waterfront views there as well. But definitely out of all of the loops that we saw, definitely the Point Camp Loop seemed to have the best as far as the number of sites that were waterfront to your campsite. If you're not really concerned about waterfront sites, then the first 2 loops that we mentioned would be really awesome, because those sites are all nice and big and flat and level. A great spots if you're not concerned about being right down by the water.
And we actually did this video on Sunday afternoon, so a lot of the campsites were empty. People have already left from the weekend.
Yeah, it was completely full when we got there, and then by Sunday afternoon, everybody had cleared out. They do have a pretty late check-in and check-out, so checkout's not till 4 o'clock, which is pretty awesome. That way you can, you don't have to be in a rush to get out of there, on the day that you have to leave. So check-in's at 5, check-out's at 4. A big sprawling, spread out campground. It covers a lot of area. And again, if you're into mountain biking, this place looks like it would be amazing. Really awesome looking mountain bike trails. And if you're into disc golf, brand new baskets, brand new concrete tee pads. So they did a good job putting it in. I'm disappointed we didn't get a chance to play it, but from what we could see of it, it looked like they did it up right.
Oh, and they also have a picnic area, several picnic areas, a beach area, and several playgrounds throughout the park.
Yeah, so just a really fantastic spot. And with that many sites, there's a really good chance that if you're in or around the Heston, Pennsylvania area, you're probably going to be able to get a site there. We would absolutely go back and visit again, and probably try to stay a little bit longer next time. We only had a couple of days just to kind of fill that gap where we should have been at the Pennsylvania State Park, but this one worked out really good, and we're glad that State Park didn't work out, because we got to check out another awesome Army Corps of Engineer campground. As usual, did not disappoint. I don't think we've been to one yet that disappointed us. We know you guys like seeing them. We like showing them to you guys because they're such a great value. They're always on the water. Typically, they're kind of off the beaten path a little ways. You got to go back to get to them. They're not going to be, for the most part, not going to be right on the highway. And that's what we love about them. All right, so that is going to do it from 7 Points Campground, Pennsylvania. We appreciate you guys watching, and we'll catch you guys down the road.